Hi everyone. I'm not sure why I've been having a hard time uh, talking myself into filming this video. I'm not sure if it's just partly because it kind of has to deal with the Lord's protection. And I know religion can be a touchy subject to a lot of people. Personally, I don't see it as religious. I kind of see it as my relationship with the Lord, uh, for lack of better words. But it has to do when I ran out of oxygen at my appointment the other day. Um, it at the end of my appointment, I had saw that my concentrator battery was down to, I think it was like 10%, and the ride was transport was running late, and of course it was the one time I forgot to take my wall plug in with me, but I had put the concentrator down to 1 liter of oxygen instead of the two what I'm usually on, just to conserve battery, even though being on one was making me lightheaded. Um, but I kept telling myself that once the transport got there, I was gonna be okay because I had the travel plug-in with me. Uh, when it got to 5%, the concentrator kept turning off on me like every 30 seconds. So I had to keep turning it back on. And when it got down to 2%, I had called 911. Um, but when I was on the phone with the receptionist, the bus pulled up. So I told the receptionist that my ride was there and I thought that was going to be okay. I had the travel plug-in with me. I went up to the bus, uh, handed them the travel plug-in for my concentrator, and they plugged it into the cigarette lighter or whatever it's called now. And that was not working. At which point my machine turned off because there was no more battery. So I called 911 back, and I didn't really have enough air to talk to answer the questions. So I handed the phone to the driver. Um, and just kind of shook yes or no with when she had repeated the questions to me that they were asking and such. Um, then she had hung up the phone saying that the ambulance was on the way, um, and she was gonna stay with me until the ambulance got there. Um, Next bit's kind of blurry because I was so lightheaded for being at oxygen. I was, well, not having the oxygen. I was wheezing really badly, trying to get any kind of air. And it got to the point where I sat down on my walker because I didn't even trust myself to stand up. I was so lightheaded and whatnot. Uh, I'm not sure how long it was after that, but it got to the point where um, I wasn't able to take in enough air to even wheeze anymore or exhale. Yet I was still conscious, and part of me at the time was wondering why, but yet I was just so focused on uh, trying to stay calm, trying to breathe, which was kind of a pointless task, but at least it helped keep my mind from panicking as bad. But I was sitting there with tears running down my face, knowing that I was dying. But yet I had a supernatural peace. I knew I was going to be all right. Um, it took 10 minutes for the ambulance to get there, and but some had to be the Lord that kept me conscious the whole time. Because, like I said, I wasn't getting enough oxygen to breathe. And as soon as the paramedics was originally was walking over to me to fairly calmly, and once they saw me, they kind of went into rush mode a bit. But as soon as they got oxygen on me again, as soon as they got oxygen again, I was all right. I could breathe fine. I had a major headache, but I was okay. I could talk again and no longer felt weak and all this other stuff. Um, they did end up taking me to the hospital for observation just because uh, my O2 stats were so low when they first got there. But it quickly went up to 96% after a few breaths on, and they had cranked up the oxygen to 6 liters to begin with, just to give me a boost. Um, but yeah, I basically was at the emergency room until they can get my concentrator charged up a little bit, um, and I was fine to go. But and I was um, glad I had a friend there who had a car plug-in, so I didn't have to wait for them to charge it up all the way. Um, but yeah, it just looking back, it's just mind-boggling of how I was able to stay calm and conscious and semi-alert the whole time. Um, but yeah, anyways, that's what had happened that night, day, and like I said, I'm not sure why I was been having such a hard time recording this video. Um, but I kind of want to do more videos at some point about the different things that the Lord has done for me over the years. Um, And I kind of had to remind myself that I had started this channel more for myself, not expecting anybody to be watching the videos, uh, let alone to have as many followers as I do have right now and such. And I'm grateful for you guys and your encouragement. But anyways, that's all for now. Bye.